Hello and welcome to Indie Miners. I'm your host Al, and we have BJ. We're in Bulldog Studios today. We're going to talk about Cindy Lee and all that is the rage. Look at BJ's raging there in the corner. He's got a lot to say. I'm going to be more of a listener here because I haven't had the time to listen to this 2-hour album, mate. Where are you sitting with it?
Well, there's a lot that I don't understand about Cindy Lee.
In general.
Just in general. Like this is what happened. We missed this in 2024.
Yep.
We found out that this album was getting on everyone's best of lists. But the unusual thing about it is really that there's probably 3 or 4 things unusual. I mean, the first thing is that it was not a streaming album, so this wasn't released on Spotify. It was a 3-album CD. So you think of all of the albums in history that have gone to 3 albums. I mean, you're thinking about All Things Must Pass. Melancholy would have probably made to 3 albums. And I guess with that, plus the fact that the album itself and the quality of it is very demo quality. It isn't a high-end studio sound.
Right.
And even with good indie these days, you tend to get really good sounding records coming out. So without all of that, plus you have a cult following. I think there's a lot of people who sort of jumped on it as something that not only sort of made everyone's best of list, but it's the best of the decade so far. So this is kind of interesting.
Can we unpack that a bit more?
There is a lot to unpack.
Can we unpack that a bit more, Matt? Because I've got some very close friends who absolutely, I mean, your camp who are raving about this album and saying the same kind of thing. I just don't get it. I don't know if I'm missing something. I feel like I missed the Neutral Milk Hotel kind of bandwagon a few years ago. I liked a few of the songs, but I think you're on the camp of it's a good album.
It's a good album. It is a good album. So it's along the lines of the type of music that I like to listen to. So if you are into sort of avant-garde, Velvet Underground, and this is where it spans anywhere from probably the late 50s through to the late 70s. So it does span a lot of that type of time frame. There was things that reminded me of T-Rex, things that reminded me of Fleetwood Mac. I think even out of all that, I feel as if I've heard better albums. I've been listening to it most nights in the
And to our viewers, he's not all the way through this
I haven't listened
huge
to it all.
album.
I haven't actually listened to it all. I mean, it's 2 bloody hours. So that's a long time. I've actually tried to start at the start with the full intention of getting it right through. I'm probably 2/3 the way through. Now, very, very impressed. Like, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot that I don't understand. And it feels as if, I don't know, it's almost like cultish. Like some of these things tend to happen from time to time where you've got a lot of different things that you don't quite understand, and it's resulted in something being a kind of the flavour of the month or flavour of the year.
So let's talk about the flavour of the month. What are we going to be saying in 12, 18 months' time about Cindy Lee?
I don't know. Now Cindy Lee have been around for a little bit of the time. So Patrick Flegel, now if I have mispronounced that, just let me know in the comments. It was originally in a band called Women. So probably 15 years he's been around. So it's not as if this is the first album and this is like a industry plant. It has crept up, but by the same stretch, there is a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype. So I'm not sure. I want to know if people that are watching this have any views on it and why this is seen to be, I guess, such a great record, an all-time classic record.
Yeah, I think just before we wrap this episode up, we talk about people saying it's one of the best albums of the last 5 years. What else could we compare it to? What other albums would be on par or better than this?
Well, like I say, we liked Ghostwoman. I think we have fondness for that. We've done a couple of episodes on Ghostwoman, on a couple of their records, and some of the songs on it reminded me of Ghostwoman. Now, but Ghostwoman sounded much better in the studio. So you're kind of going, well, if I had a choice, like I'm sort of going that they're probably very similar in terms of the style. So I don't know. Look, I feel as if there's a lot to like about it, but there's a lot of albums that have been made over history, and then you're putting them into like all time list. Not sure.
And look, I won't lie, I'm notorious for saying this is the album of the year. First time I've listened to an album. So look, we're going to revisit this maybe 12, 18 months. But in the meantime, please like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, and we'll see you next time on Indie Miners.